Hello, welcome to Moochie's podcast. I know I talked in the last 3 videos or just small reels about how you can build self confidence as well as trying to, just find yourself, right? And so that's kind of like what I did for myself because I've noticed that, I don't know, you could say a lot of your ambition to sometimes you feel like you're lost. It kind of just vanishes away, you could say. So, and then like for me, like I've done so much things too within my whole life to where I'm like, okay, I've never really, and also, when you're a parent, you're a mom, a daughter, sister, it's kind of hard to come back to yourself or what you, or just the, or you could say just find what you want again. And so I did the utmost daring thing ever, or I don't know, I think a lot of people do it too. Like, just getting away by yourself, solo getaway. Sometimes we think that, going to our own room, having our own little, I don't know, craft room, or just hiding yourself in the closet away from your kids, your family. It's, I don't know, I think we kind of consider that as me time or just going shopping, right? But, oh, excuse me. So what I did this past weekend, I haven't had time to come and talk. I was going to do a live podcast, but I decided I would just do a recording instead. So let's say, I think it was last Wednesday or just past this week. So past Wednesday, or actually, let's go a day back. Past Tuesday, just this Tuesday, I just had this feeling where I feel like I needed to get away, but not lock myself, we could say. It was more of like, I feel it was better to connect again with nature and, just a quiet moment, right? And so while I was going through Airbnb, I was trying to find like how they have like those little sections where you can find out if it's like which kind of view you want and where and whatsoever. So anyway, I found this place. It's a tiny home in La Crosse, Kindred tiny home. It's super cute and like, you know what? Might as well just go for it. I mean, it doesn't hurt, right? I had no second thoughts whatsoever. And I'm like, I'm just going to do this spontaneous trip by myself. Let's do it. I mean, when I was younger, spontaneous trip all the time. So, yeah, why not now again, right? So, anyways, packed everything Wednesday. I'm like, okay, I'm like, should I tell people? Should I not? But then I'm like, I'm by myself, so maybe I should tell somebody. So I ended up telling a lot of people who are close to me, such as my BFFs, and then again, my husband, my kids, and then, a few family members as well, just so they kind of know where I am in case anything happens, right? Because solo trip. So, anyways, long story short, on my way there, just driving, I thought to myself, yeah, my courage and fearlessness was just like, okay, I'm going. I'm really going. I'm doing this. On the way there, I think I left around 12:30 Wednesday, and check-in was after 3. Went there, drove, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the time, looking at the map, gotta make sure I'm going the right way. And what do you know? Once I got to Prescott, it was only like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I missed a turn already. I'm like, what? Heck no. So I just kind of took a little detour and then went back on the right track. It was a super quick detour. It wasn't really that bad. Anyway, while I was driving, I didn't really think much. I just let myself enjoy the view, just trying to relax as much as possible because I do have anxiety as well, but it's not as bad. But then I realized I'm like, oh my gosh, I can feel my body getting tense, my shoulders especially getting tense. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to relax. So, anyways, long story short, drove. Now I'm past, got to Winona. I'm like, okay, 30 minutes left. All right. I'm like, man, I'm feeling tired already because usually road trips, I have my husband drive. And he asked, before I left, he asked me and said, "Are you sure you can drive the 2 hours by yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got this. I know I got this." And so, anyway, once I got there, and I was so happy. I thought that it was going to be a little tiny home by itself in the woods, but it was actually up by the Bluffs area. I don't know if you guys been to La Crosse, but it also has residential homes on each side and further down the road. So, I'm like, okay, I think I should be all right. I'm not here by myself. And then got in, checked myself in, got the keys and everything. I put myself down. Like, man, it's hot in here. And so and I looked at the thermostat and it was about 84 degrees. I'm like, whew, I got to open up those windows. So there were only two side doors, and it didn't have a screen protection. If you know me, I don't really like bugs. That was the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, oh my god, bugs are gonna come inside. So yeah, I think I killed a bug while I was there. But anyways, I kind of had to open the door anyway, put the shade down, and then I'm like, all right, what should I do now, right? Because sometimes you're also busy and upbeat and doing everything for everyone and you forget about yourself. So it took me a moment to really think about what I wanted to do. And there's no electronics there. And so I'm like, okay, usually, at home, you always put either the TV on or music or whatever. Yes, I do have my phone and I brought my laptop just in case, but I did my best. I didn't touch my phone for a few hours. I decided, okay, I'm just gonna take my book and my notepad. It had a little patio with 2 chairs, had a few, good shading area as well. I went out and sat on the chair, kind of thought to myself for a bit, like I was kind of pacing back and forth, like going in, going out. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do, right? And I had to pause. When you pause, that's when you kind of have to come back into your senses, be like, okay, you're okay. So what I'm trying, and yeah, that's what I did. And then I grabbed my book again, read a few chapters, and just throughout the whole time. And then somehow, again, like sometimes you have that second thought or that second voice or just saying, like, all right, am I safe? Or no one's here with me. Will I be okay? As the time goes by, you're like, shoot, it's getting dark. What am I going to do now? Right. And so, even just by myself, it was hard for me to kind of just, I think it took me about 1.5 to 2 hours to really calm myself down and figure out and think about kind of like a self reflection, right? So, self reflect about what I've done within the whole year, what had happened. And, sometimes it doesn't like the way how like your body react or how you think. Sometimes it's not like it doesn't just come to you like that. It's also external environment, right? Or things that had happened in your life. So, it can either be work, family, everything that goes around and your whole environment. When you talk about whole environment, just like everything that's surrounding you. And so, despite thinking, self reflecting, doing like a little overview, right? I've never really had a chance to really sat down by myself and just reflect and had a little, and just think about the year itself. So, that's what I did. And, made a few notes about things that are not good for me and things that are good for me. So, for example, health wise, right? Do I notice that my energy is becoming low? Why is it becoming low? Or how come I don't enjoy certain things that I used to do? So, just things like that. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, right? And just make a list and say, this is the stuff that I used to like to do. These are the things that I have been doing that probably I should just step back and just pause and think, do I really, like, is this good for me? And thinking about lifespan, right? So, especially if you have kids and that just kind of makes you think like, all right, I do want to live longer and whatsoever. So I need to start just being healthy and, things like that again. So, just reflecting and a lot of self reflect, I guess, for the whole year, making a list and just making promises for myself, like to make better changes, right? So, that's a little bit about, my self healing mini getaway. And so then I know when it came throughout the whole or the night, then that was when I think that it made me think more at nighttime. I know it was more of like, oh my God, I'm here by myself, right? So sometimes you always, or you're so used to of having someone there all the time. But I was in the woods, and so yeah, a lot of people ask me, "Oh my God, you're going there by yourself? How do you do that?" I'm like, I don't know. I just did it. So at nighttime, it was a different story. You could say that will have to be in another podcast, but that's just a little self healing journey for myself, going on a solo mini getaway, and I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. And if there are any questions or any other questions that that I can answer, feel free to leave a comment or message me. And so yeah, this is just something that I wanted to share. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please like and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hello, I'm at my Airbnb, my first solo, and it's actually pretty nice. It's in La Crosse. So this is the Airbnb right behind me. Super cute. So yeah, that's what it is. And then it also have a fire pit here, and just trying to walk around just to see what's around here. It's a tiny home, not too bad, right? I think right now it's about like 200 for the month or something. No, not the month, the days, 200 a night. But it's a pretty good, quiet neighborhood. It's in La Crosse, so yeah, this is it. Just me.